What is going on, YouTube? Gyvi World here. Hope everyone's having a great day today. We are back today with another challenge kind of thing. Franchise, not Diamond Dynasty. So, before I even let you know what the challenge is, I want to give a little backstory. So, where I work with this guy who, as you know, I'm from the Florida area. He's from the Tampa Bay area, I believe. He's a Buccaneers and Rays fan. And for the last couple years, we've had this debate, and he swears that the Tampa Bay Rays are a championship contender. Yeah, I know. Crazy. So he thinks that the Rays, that, you know, they have a couple things against them, but if it weren't for that, they'd be in the playoffs every year, and they'd be doing well, and one of those things is injuries, which every single team has to deal with. And the other thing is that they are in arguably the toughest division in baseball, the AL East, as you know. However, today we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to switch the Tampa Bay Rays and put them in another division and kind of see how they do. So I've already downloaded the Operation Sports rosters, and we're just going to simulate one season with the Rays currently, just to see kind of how they do. So another thing is, he thinks it's crazy to trade away their best players because he truly believes that they can compete, well, this past year and this upcoming year with how tough the AL East is. And wow. And I tell him, listen, you're better off getting rid of all your star players, unfortunately Chris Archer being the bulk of it, and shooting for prospects and playing well in the next 4 to 5 years. But that doesn't seem to make sense to him. So we're gonna sim through the All-Star break. New York's doing pretty well. Tampa Bay was also the only team in the AL East this year with a losing record. Even the Yankees, who weren't that good and sold pretty much everyone and got rid of their, you know, older guys, even they almost had a chance to make the playoffs. They were right there. But look at that. So far, the Blue Jays look really good. Yankees 6 games ahead. Red Sox 11. But we're not the worst team in the AL East. Let's just continue through the All-Star break now and see how the Rays continue to do. 29 and 39. No, I don't want any of this. No. We're on a bit of a losing streak. Decline that as well. The Angels took 2. Skipping that. This is there needs to be a setting for that, because that is kind of annoying if you want to simulate years at a time, and we just kind of want to see if there is a chance that maybe without injuries and in another league, you know what, not without injuries, just in another league, to see if the Rays have the chance to make it into the postseason. That needs to be, oh my god. Alright, but we're on a bit of a win streak. We won every game that week, and things are heating up. We are near 500. Oh, okay, a win streak here would put us in a good position to get close to 500. But we're gonna lose a couple games. Season's over for the minor leagues. Not gonna stop for minor league baseball, so it's gonna go a little quicker. 3 games under, and we ended up exactly 500, and it wasn't good enough to make the postseason. All right, let's check the awards. From Manager Gold Glove Award, Kiermaier. So we got Kiermaier to win a Gold Glove, which is kind of expected. World Series MVP, Joe Panic. MVP of the year, Miguel Cabrera, batting .319, 45 with 119 RBIs. Donaldson and Trout are the previous winners. Cy Young, we got Mike Fears, 22 and 4 with a 3.41 ERA, just missing 200 strikeouts. And batting title, Miguel Cabrera. Reliever of the year, Zach Britton. There it is. So what I have done is basically I took the worst team in the AL East, arguably, the Tampa Bay Rays, and I swapped them with one of the weaker divisions standing-wise last season, which was the NL East. Of course, the Washington Nationals were the best team in that division. However, they competed with the Braves, the Marlins, Mets, and the Phillies. Not the toughest of competition, again, arguably. And all I did was I swapped all the players from the Nationals and put them in the AL East, which is a tougher division, so it should make for better competition, and put the Rays team on the Nationals. And it's funny, when I was swapping all the players, I just happened to land on AJ Cole for Nick Franklin, two guys I played against in high school. They were absolute studs. Alright, but anyways, let's get into it. And we're kind of going to see, and look at that, right off the bat, Nationals versus Tampa Bay. Even though it's spring training, we got Chris Archer versus Max Scherzer. I don't know what the heck is going on with Max Scherzer's eye there. I don't know. Every time I swapped him and they gave him a created face scan thing, he had like one glass eye and like one brown eye, so that was kind of weird. But anyways, let's just sim through spring training and see how we start. Looking pretty solid for spring training though. 18-11, not bad. Not too interested in the stats, so we're gonna go ahead and clear those, and we're just gonna do 1 month at a time to see where we stand as the new Tampa Bay Rays that relocated to our nation's capital. And so far, we're doing a little better. We're doing drastically better. Kind of want to see what the standings look like in the American League East. Okay, so the new Nationals, the Rays, are in first place in the AL East. Not too surprising through 1 month, 15-9. So that's pretty solid. Let's get another month in and see what we're looking like after that. All right, took 3 out of 4 versus Kansas. Swept the World Series winner, future World Series winner. Beaten up on Detroit. Miami. Wow. So far, it looks like maybe my buddy has a point. The Nationals are 37-16, competing against the Phillies, the Mets, the Braves, and the Marlins. So maybe if the Rays weren't in the AL East, so far it's looking like things would be really different. Batting average, do we have any Nationals on here? Matt Duffy. Brad Miller still batting .310, has cooled off just a little bit. Let's check home runs. We got Wilson Ramos, who is a National, but is now a Tampa Bay Ray. Brad Miller, Kevin Kiermaier, both with 10 home runs. That's honestly extremely unexpected. And let's get another month in, man. This is, wow. I am honestly really not that shocked, because honestly it is the worst division on paper in the game this year. I believe they had combined the least amount of wins, even with the Nationals. So you take the Nationals out of the equation, and it's not the strongest division. But we're 52-28. You know what? We're gonna sim through the All-Star game. We're gonna get a lot of pop-ups here, which I really don't want. That was a lot. And we are 57-33. We are 1 game ahead of the Mets. Let's sim a month and a half in. See how we're looking like. Decline that. Man, I'm really gonna have to eat my words if they pull this off. Trade deadline is over. Important message, no. We are 65-44. A complete turnaround of how we were doing in the AL East. I guess this just goes to show that the National League is not a real division. I'm just kidding. Do not get on me for that. However, until the National League doesn't have 9 hitters in the lineup, I won't fully respect you. I'm like a father who, like, you know, like your son's doing good, but like they're not doing good enough, so you just don't respect them as much. And that's kind of how I feel, if that's weird. All right, but Matt Duffy batting .307, even though he's cold. That is it. Let's check Tampa Bay. They got Anthony Rendon batting .305. Of course, Tampa Bay is now the Washington Nationals. Damn Daniel batting .298. Clint Robinson, one of my buddy's favorite players, batting .297. Let's check out the home runs in the AL. Tampa Bay, Bryce Harper has 38, batting .280. Okay, and let's see actually who's near the top. Mike Trout, 49. Cruz, Harper, Davis, Abreu. And in the National League, of course, we got guys like Joey Votto, Rizzo Braun, Cargo, Chris Bryant. Pretty much what you expect. The Nationals got Wilson Ramos with 30. So not bad so far. We are no longer in first place, though. We are 6 games behind the Mets. The Mets have gone on a nice little streak. And to end it, look, there's a lot of losses in the month of August. It looks like we went near 500, maybe a little lower. Yeah, there's a lot of L's. All right, so crunch time is here. We're going to sim through the rest of the season. We are going to sim, and we got, oh, and against the Mets, we get swept. And the Braves now take 1 out of 3. Mets take 2 wins, and it's not looking good. And the Nationals have finished 87-75, and it wasn't good enough to make the postseason, as the Mets still proved to be dominant, and the Nationals just had a rough second half of the year. End up 11 games behind. And let's see where we were on the wild card. We were just 1 game out of the wild card. Absolutely phenomenal. And I guess I was right. I did not think the Tampa Bay Rays, even without injuries and even without being in the AL East and being in a weaker division, they still wouldn't make the playoffs. And it was just by a hair, but I was right. And here are the league leaders for the season. Freddie Freeman at the top in batting average. Matt Duffy ended at 305. Brad Miller 300. Corey Dickerson got hot towards the end, 290 batting average, and that's the top 25. In the American League, of course, guys like Cabrera, Joe Mauer finding new life, Mike Trout, The Haas, Bogarts, Cano, Altuve, Brantley, all these guys on fire. Ellsbury, Betts, Travis, there's just so much firepower in the AL East. And Tampa Bay also had Clint Robinson batting 290. Daniel Murphy cooled off, ended up at 285. Eaton 284. So not too bad. And Rendon in 28th. Let's check out the home run leaders for the season. Mike Trout, Bryce Harper went to the AL East and dominated. 47 home runs, batting 272. Anyone else of importance? I don't think there's any other Tampa Bay player in the top 25. Of course, the Tampa Bays, once again, being the Nationals. Let's check the National League. We got Joey Votto, Rizzo Bryant, Cargo Braun, same guys as earlier pretty much. Wilson Ramos ended up with 32 home runs. And Brad Miller with 28. Steven Souza Jr. with 24. I did not expect that. But he does have boosted power, -1 +8, even though he ended up cold in the year, but that is not too bad. Let's see our stats. Duffy, oh dear God, Longoria ended up 203. It's time to let him go, Tampa. Wilson Ramos came over, did all right for, well, he's an offensive catcher, so I expected a little bit more. Kiermaier's a defensive player, 237, not bad. Logan Forsythe with 231. Corey Dickerson ended up well. Brad Miller, 300, ended up well. And Tim Beckham. Where is that very important? Oh, let's see this. Oh, no. I pressed the wrong button. All right. So this is literally what is this for 1 season? Okay. I had it on career. I was about to say it's physically impossible for Evan Longoria, as bad as he did, to end up with that high of a WAR. But Brad Miller, 4.9. Wilson Ramos, 4.6. Kiermaier, 3.6. Probably mostly defensive, as I don't think he did well offensively. Dickerson only 3.15. I expected a little bit more as hot as he started. Duffy 1 from Beckham, and that was pretty much it. Let's see if we can find the new Nationals season. Let's check Bryce Harper's WAR. A godly season from Bryce Harper, 6.53 WAR. That is pretty close. That is possible MVP numbers right there. Only 272, 47 home runs, 106 RBIs, 8 stolen bases. Adam Eaton, 4.7, well above all-star caliber. Derek Norris, 3.4. Rendon, 1.8. Murphy, 1.8. Zimmerman, only 1.5. and Jason Worth with 1.3. So not a bad season at all. And let's see the awards. We can already see the awards. We got Joey Votto batting .327 for MVP in the National League. In the American League, we got Mike Trout. Mike Trout wins the MVP. Can't be too surprised. .313, 60 bombs, and 139 RBIs. Absolutely amazing. Cy Young was Dallas Keuchel. 19-3. The Astros just dominate every single time I simulate this. 2.88, 210 strikeouts. In the National League, we got Kyle Hendricks, 19-2, 2.57, 226 strikeouts. Batting title goes to Freddie Freeman and Miguel Cabrera. Reliever of the year, Zach Britton and Kenley Jensen. Rookie of the year, Tommy Joseph, Michael Fulmer, Hank Aaron, Mike Trout, Joey Votto. Gold Glove at pitching, Zach Greinke, who did not have an error and 23 putouts, 21 assists. Miguel Gonzalez in the National League. Blake Swihart, or American League. Blake Swihart, catcher, Gold Gloves, and JT Realmuto. Freddie Freeman, Eric Hosmer had a 1,000 fielding percentage. All right. Jonathan Scope, Neil Walker, David Wright, Manny Machado at third, J.J. Hardy and Addison Russell at short, Malik Smith and Jason Worth in left field. So we did get a Gold Glover in the outfield, and Jason Worth 12 assists. Adam Jones and Kevin Kiermaier. Actually, Jason Worth's not on our team. Kevin Kiermaier is 1,000 fielding. He got center fielder Gold Glove. Kind of expected. Jason Hayward in right field and Bryce Harper. Silver Slugger, CJ Cron, Zach Greinke, Buster Posey, Gary Sanchez, Chris Davis and Joey Votto, Neil Walker and Jose Altuve, Josh Donaldson, Nolan Arenado, Corey Seager, Xander Bogaerts, and Mike Trout, McCutchen, outfield, Braun, Nelson Cruz, Harper, Pollock. And now, guys, we can simulate the postseason and see who is going to end up winning the postseason. Let's see. Let's just simulate the entire postseason. We can't see anything. The Giants have defeated the Yankees in the 2016 World Series. So there you have it. In conclusion, guys, I don't think the Rays are winning anytime soon. Even through simulation, when you put them in the worst division in baseball, they still don't make the playoffs. And your World Series MVP is Jarrett Parker. And that's going to be a GG. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, as always, please make sure to drop a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments if there was anything I forgot to go through, and I'll keep working on getting better at doing these simulations and challenges, and what you guys want to see next. Let me know down in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. Peace.
That could sing and explain all the pain that it cost him. My 16 should have came with a coffin. For the fame and the fortune. Well, maybe not the fortune, but one thing is for sure, though, the fame is exhausting. That's why I moved away. I needed privacy, surrounded by the trees in Ivy League. Students that's recruited higher league, thinking you do you and I do me. Crib has got a big old backyard.